We're the talk of the town. We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers to meeting Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, meeting Venus. Together we embark.
So I'm very happy to welcome actress Naomi Grossman. Thank you, Naomi, for joining during the weekend. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
You might know Naomi from American Horror Story series, but she appears completely different. I hope you can recognize her now. But tell me a little bit about your early passion for the entertainment industry. How did it start with you and made you study and become a professional actress?
My parents were always really great about exposing me to art and theater and film and opera and ballet and you name it, culture.
Yes.
So from a very young age, I remember being in the theater, you know, looking up there, wishing I were one of them. And as soon as I was able, I auditioned for children's theater and regional commercials and um uh, whatever television came through Denver, Colorado, which is where I was from. So
Yes.
yeah, I don't know, I think I think being a performer, I mean, it's almost, I kind of joke that it's like akin with being gay. Like, you can't pray it away. Believe me, I've tried. It's
Yes.
like you just are born that way. And I've always sort of kind of, I was one of those kids who was constantly performing for her family or, guests, whoever would
Yes.
watch. Yeah.
Yes, I can see that you signed with agencies early at a young age. Tell me a little bit about your experience and what role did you perform when you were just a young girl like this?
Well, yeah, I actually got my SAG card, which is to say I was like a
Uh-huh.
professional
Yes.
on my 15th birthday, which was exactly
Great.
35 years ago.
Yes.
So, and that was on a show called Father Dowling Mysteries, which, is so 35 years ago. But, I was very famous in my high school for following that. Of course,
Hmm.
I had one word. I said, father. And, I thought I was, Drew Barrymore at that point.
Yes.
I might have, I might as well have starred in ET. It was very exciting. But it was exciting. I got my SAG card, which for actors first starting out, that's a really big deal. Of course, it kind of took me out of the game for a few years, because there wasn't that much union work to be had in Denver. From there, I took a little detour to Argentina as an exchange student
Really?
at school. Yep.
Uh,
And then from there, went on to college. I studied theater at Northwestern, which is a great theater school. But it wasn't really until I graduated there, moved to Hollywood, that I was able to really, use that SAG card. And
Yes.
I've been here ever since.
Yes. But right now, tell me, after you got already your SAG card, tell me later on when you became a young woman, how did your acting career start to take off?
Well, it didn't.
Uh-huh.
Like at
Really?
all. No,
Hmm.
I struggled for a very long time.
Yes.
Um, I would say when I first moved to LA, I I think I had this, very naive idea that, graduated from this prestigious university. We had this fancy degree. You know, there was all these other major movie stars that had gone there before me. You know, David Schwimmer was one of the friends, of course,
Yes.
and Zoe Deschanel was right after me. She, of course, had a
Yes.
sitcom immediately.
Hmm.
And then even some of my own peers. I mean, I was there with Seth Meyers and Zach Braff, and you know, and here they were all just like cropping up, and I thought, well, you know, I'm ready for my close up, and it just didn't happen for me like that.
Yes.
It was several years in that I thought, you know what, no one's casting me, I'll cast myself. So I started writing my own material, and that
Yes.
was really fulfilling. Artistically, because I was finally like taking some control. Instead of waiting around for Hollywood to knock on my door, I was sort of knocking on Hollywood's. And that, even that didn't necessarily bust doors in Hollywood open for me necessarily, but it did keep me in the game. Like it infused like this passion. It reminded me of why I wanted to do this in the first place, and that was really
Yes.
important. And yeah, I think ultimately creating this body of work for myself, you know, giving casting producers, you know, the powers that be in Hollywood something to Google, I think was really critical. Because like I said, it was, whew, what, I moved in to LA at like age 22, let's say. It wasn't until I was 37, you know, 15 years later, that I actually, you know, got American Horror Story. And I think it's safe to say that was my, you know, big break.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I mean, like I said, it's not to say I wasn't working plenty before that. I just, no one was watching.
Yes.
So, you
Yeah.
know, like, let's face it, a performer, it's like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to watch, did it really fall? Like, I can act my pants off, but if no one's watching, what's the point?
Hmm.
So, you know, no one was watching, but it's not to say that I wasn't working at it. Um, but so yeah, that's the answer. I struggled for a long
Yes.
time.
I think it's challenging because you spoke about Drew Barrymore and many child actresses. I think it's very challenging when you transition from a child to a teenage to a young woman, and because you are, I think, exposed to different kind of opportunities and agencies as well, because there are some for child, some for little bit grown up, you know, and you need to, I think, to prove yourself at every stage of your life, right?
Yeah, definitely. Although my jokes
Mhm.
about being Drew Barrymore are obviously jokes. I mean, let's face it,
Yes.
she was a proper movie star at the age of 6. And I
Yes.
was, you know, I thought I was a really big deal at age 15, even though I had
Yes.
one word on a, you know, on a weird priest cop show.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Yes.
being very sarcastic.
Yes, but tell me about how did you land role in American Horror Story? Well, you know, I watched it after it went for 5 seasons, so I watched like consecutive 5 seasons. And myself, what I liked about it, it's part anthology and part connected.
Hmm.
The creators try to connect the stories, you know, the different eras, you know, although they are played by sometimes same actors. And myself, I don't like, you know, the season of of a series to be like it used before, 26 episodes. You know, I because I prefer films. I prefer condensed drama, you know.
Hmm.
And right now, most of the series are like that, are 10, 12, or lesser, you know.
Hmm.
But believe me, when I start to saw your character, I think you first appear in the circus season, right? Or you appeared
No,
before
actually, the asylum is when we first
the
meet.
asylum?
Hmm.
Yeah, the asylum. I thought that yourself, you look like that without makeup. Because, because you remind me of a movie. I don't know if you have seen it. It's an early black and white talkie. Maybe you
Oh
can
yeah,
catch it.
Freak.
Freaks,
Yes, of course.
on TCM. So I thought, oh my God, maybe this young woman, it was cast. She's not a professional actress, you know.
Well,
So
that's a
tell
great
me when
compliment
you.
because that was my job.
Yes,
I had
yes,
one job, and that was to do Schlitzie,
uh-huh,
really channel that
uh,
character that you're referring to. And so it's beautiful how simple that direction is. It was literally 2 line, three
uh-huh.
syllable bit of direction, do Schlitzie. And
Yes.
evidently I did.
Yes, but tell me, when you went to do reading first time or casting, did you shave your hair or you went like that, did some makeup? Because they do. I think they do some prosthetics for your teeth, your front teeth, and
Hmm.
also the ears as well. And
Yeah,
also
well,
the
obviously
lip
you don't shave your head until you've got the part.
for sure.
But yes,
Yes.
it wasn't it was after they offered me the role that they
Uh,
made it very clear that
uh,
that was important. And so yes, I did. I shaved my head. You can watch it on YouTube. They
uh-huh,
also course fit me for all kinds of prosthetics, a prosthetic
uh-huh.
nose, brow,
Yes, yes.
ears, fake
Mm-hmm.
teeth. I had a prosthetic chest,
Yes,
prosthetic gloves, arms. I had a wonky eye. Yeah, it was very involved.
yes.
It started like as an all day prosthetic job, and then they whittled it down. And by the end, they had it down to a science. It had 2 Emmy winning uh, makeup artists kind of split me down the middle. And within 2.5 to 3 hours, I was Pepper.
Yes. So tell me, how was it to work with great actresses and actors in the series? Jessica Lange was of my generation. I remember I went with my mother to see King Kong. I was 6 years old, you know.
I
And
loved
then
it.
when I started to grow up, I started to follow her other dramatic and comedy films, and with Tootsie, with Dustin Hoffman, with many dramatic, and I think it surprised me her turn in American Horror Story.
Well, it's
Uh,
wonderful because she's now exposed to this whole new generation of
uh,
viewers. Because let's face it, that's a whole. King Kong was even before me, so
uh-huh,
it's great that now uh, younger audiences are exposed to her work because she really is an absolute master.
uh-huh.
It's so fascinating to watch her on set. It's like a master class every day.
For sure, for sure. Yes. Tell me, you think Pepper influenced your career and also your approach to acting?
Um, not necessarily. I think
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was a wonderful experience, and that I was given a chance to really dig my teeth into something.
Yes.
Because let's face it, like I was able to play her for a full season, two
Yes.
in fact.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more than just like a quick gig, or it was like I got to live with this creature. And really kind of explore her pathos. And but I think, and I did, let's face it, I did kind of create her from nothing. And that allowed me to practice what I learned back in drama school all those years ago. I was able to create a backstory, kind of like an inner life, and obviously really nail her outside, exterior walk, talk, gait, gestures, you know, that,
Yeah.
and kind of
Hmm.
marry the two, you know. So, but I don't think that was necessarily new. It was just something that I hadn't always had the opportunity to practice.
Uh-huh.
Um, because let's face it, when you're just an out of work actor auditioning, you know, delve into a character an audition at a time, but you don't necessarily get to live with them unless you actually get the part. And as I said, I'd gone a long time without actually getting the part.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about your recent projects right now. Did you film some stuff we're gonna see soon?
I I have. I'm not sure that I'm able to talk about what I really want to talk about, obviously.
Yes.
But I would say to stay tuned. I've got something I'm coming up in the Halloween, you know, horror movie time. So
Oh.
you know, keep your eyes
Hmm.
peeled around September, October. I've got something that I feel confident will be in theaters. So
Yes.
because
Yes.
these days you never know, you know.
Uh-huh. Tell
Even
me
big
how.
movies don't get theatrical releases necessarily.
Great. Tell me how did you deal with fans? You know, did you like to see without makeup of Pepper, or they prefer?
I'm sure they would rather see me as Pepper, but it's not that simple. I mean, it's a whole process,
Uh-huh.
and you know, my makeup artist costs more than I do, so
Yes.
you know, I'm not gonna shave my head for a, you know, Comic-Con. So,
Yes.
um, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
there's only so much I can do. They've just got to trust me. It's really me. I'm
Yes. Yes. I can see a lot of painting and drawing behind you of Pepper, right?
yes, I've got a
So,
whole room of
uh,
Pepper art.
uh-huh. So
It's
this
sort
is
of my
sent.
happy place.
So you collect this, or it was sent to you by fans, or
Yeah,
really? Yeah, this is great. This is your preferred corner in the house.
yeah, I love it. Well, I have a couple. There's four corners to this room,
Yes,
and I love all
yes,
four of them. But this is
yes.
the one without, you know, piles of tax preparation or laundry.
Mhm.
So yes, this is the
Yes.
corner you're getting.
You told me earlier that you used to write your own material. Do you have something you write you would like to realize in the future, or a dream role, or you would like to realize in the future as a writer, as an actress?
Yeah, my most recent project, American Horror Story, which is my solo show. It's
Uh-huh.
a one-woman play, actually kind of chronicles a lot of what we're talking about, my kind of odyssey,
Yes,
from it's really my history of hustling, I like to say, because
yes,
again, the horror of American Horror Story is not so much a promiscuous as she is a woman who whores out, one who does what
yes.
she's got to do to get what she wants. And so I take you through my long laundry list of wacky odd jobs, and wacky ex-boyfriends, and um and see how I kind of, you know, hustle to where I am here today. And anyway, that show has had a nice life thus far, though. But I have big plans for the future. I'm hoping to shoot it
Hope
as a
so,
comedy special, and the real dream is to have it streaming on a, you know, Netflix or Hulu or Hilarious or
for
whatever.
sure.
That's the plan.
Great. This is great. I wish you all the best in your upcoming projects, and I hope you can come back for Halloween. We can have another talk together about your new project when it is released.
Yes,
And
I
I want to
guarantee
thank you
I'll have
again.
much more to say then. I promise.
For sure. I believe it. I believe so. We can have a more deep talk. And I want to thank you again for joining during the weekend, and wish you all the best in your upcoming projects, cinema, television, and theater.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much, Naomi.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.